Thanks for joining us for this look at the best original reporting from KPBS News. This week, I'm Maya Trabulsi. And coming up, residents near Del Mar sue over the amount of soccer happening in their community. Why they say it's harming their quality of life. San Diego's high cost of living is affecting workers in the UC system. Here are the demands they're making for better pay. And the San Diego Symphony is cultivating a new generation of musicians. See how they're preparing for a special show coming soon to the Rady Shell. Ongoing construction of a new border wall threatened to destroy hundreds of murals that decorate the Tijuana side, but now a group of activists found a way to preserve some of them. KPBS border reporter Gustavo Solis spoke to the people working to save a slice of our common history.
For a long time, the border wall was just that, a wall. Then, artists on the Mexican side decided to make it a window into our cross-border culture. They painted colorful, vibrant murals, a blood-red heart with love written on it, a depiction of President Joe Biden making out with Donald Trump, and powerful tributes to deported veterans. Maria Teresa Fernandez is a photographer who chronicled this transformation for 25 years.
Since I started, I started kind of feeling that object, the wall, was alive. I saw during all this time that it was changing, it was growing in length and in height. It was reproducing from 1 to 2 and in other places to 3 walls.
Then came 2023. That's when the U.S. government tore down the old wall so it could build a bigger one. And the window was shattered. Or so we thought.
We knew the Mexico side, the community on the Mexico side had invested so much love and care and energy and creativity in this site. We wanted to make sure that some of that was preserved.
That's John Fanistil. He's an activist with the group Friends of Friendship Park. And he couldn't bear to see those murals lost forever. So he called Micah Parson, CEO of the Museum of Us, with one simple question.
Would you consider having the museum try to obtain these sections of the wall before they get destroyed? And we absolutely jumped at the opportunity.
The museum spent 8 months acquiring 20 pieces of the old border wall. It was a long and complicated process that involved multiple conversations with Customs and Border Protection and the private contractor hired to dismantle the wall. Those 20 pieces are now safe in an undisclosed warehouse in the South Bay. If you look close enough and at just the right angle, you can see migrants crossing the border. And each section has small details hidden in plain sight, like tiny hearts and butterflies, even handprints. You can even tell which sections of the wall were closest to the ocean by looking at how the salty air corroded the metal beams. Fernandez, the photographer, is overjoyed to see the murals survive.
They mean a lot. They mean a lot for the history of that area.
Parsons says the history won't be locked up in a museum.
They don't belong to us. They really belong to the community. And it's the community that should come together to decide how this sort of wealth gets redistributed back into our trinational region.
Museums have a history of taking things that don't belong to them. Parsons sees this project as part of an ongoing effort to correct the mistakes of the past.
We have caused inestimable harm to indigenous communities, to other communities of color, by taking their belongings, by taking their ancestors and refusing to give them back for decades. And we've really, over the last several years, turned that corner and realized they don't belong to us as an institution. They belong back into the community.
Fanistil says that Friends of Friendship Park, the Museum of Us, and other community stakeholders will spend the next year figuring out where and how to display these unique artifacts.
Perhaps there will be sites in the public, either on either side of the border, where one or more of these sections of wall might be displayed. Perhaps there might be a traveling site with a section or two of the wall able to visit different locations. We don't know. These are all possibilities.
They envision a truly genuine tri-national effort involving people from San Diego, Tijuana, and Kumeyaay Nation. Brandon Linton is a cultural consultant and member of the Kumeyaay.
Before there was a U.S.-Mexico, there was us, the Kumeyaay people. And so we Originally inhabited the area from generally down around the Ensenada area up to Capistrano area.
And Friendship Park is right in the middle of that area.
So the U.S.-Mexico border from its conception split our homeland virtually in half.
Linton says the border wall has had a devastating impact on the Kumeyaay people. It has separated them for generations.
I think that this project is a great way to bring attention to that and bring some light to those issues of people that need to move back and forth across that border.
A way to reopen the window. Gustavo Solis, KPBS News.
And part of our coverage this week focuses on the high cost of living in San Diego. We have a couple of those stories, including a report by Melissa May that shows our region remains one of the most expensive in the nation for renters. But first, the ongoing fight for better pay for UC workers. MG Perez heard some of their demands from the picket lines.
Treat your workers like you should. The message got louder as more and more workers arrived here to spend their lunch hour protesting outside several UC San Diego health facilities in La Jolla.
It's horrific. We do not make enough money to make ends meet. We're not making enough money. You know, it's the economy, it's everything. The American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees Union represents 33,000 of the lowest paid UC service and patient care workers in California. Their jobs include custodial work, medical billing, and many other frontline positions. Dina Johnson is the operating room instrument coordinator at the Jacobs Medical Center. She is also a single mother of a son and daughter.
With the wage that they have here, it's not enough. It's really not enough. Because if you have to work overtime every day just to make ends meet, just to feed your family, I don't think it's not fair. The union started negotiations for a new contract in January. Workers want a minimum wage of at least $25 an hour and an immediate 5% pay increase. Their last contract was ratified in February 2020, just before the COVID shutdown. A lot has happened since then, and these workers want protection before the contract ends July 31st. They also want the University of California to stop investing some of their pension money in the Blackstone Real Estate Income Trust, a company known for high-priced housing in La Jolla, which many workers cannot afford.
They are making housing unaffordable. It is causing a burden on taxpayers in the form of increased homelessness and leaning on the social system. In a written statement to KPBS, the University of California said, in part, while UC has no control over statewide rents or housing costs, we know the cost of living in California is high. By providing employees with competitive wages and regular pay increases, we aim to help our employees with their cost of living expenses. Negotiations will continue until both sides reach mutually beneficial agreements. For the moment, union workers will have the last word. MG Perez, KPBS News.
Zumper is a rental platform that provides monthly national reports with up-to-date data on the 100 most populated cities in the U.S., where San Diego ranks as the 8th most expensive city.
We look at over 1 million active listings throughout the country every month, and then we look at the active listing rents. So we think we have the best picture of the open market.
Crystal Chen with Zumper says in February, a one-bedroom rental in San Diego was $2,300, which is a couple $100 more than the state median price, but is almost $1,000 more than Zumper's national rent index. Zumper also breaks down the rental market further and releases monthly reports of metro areas, including the San Diego market.
We do kind of a zoom in on San Diego's market, and that covers about 12 cities in the metro area. And San Diego ranked as the 4th most expensive city in the metro report.
The top 3 most expensive cities to rent in the San Diego metro area are Coronado, with one-bedroom rentals at $3,900, followed by Encinitas at $2,700, and Carlsbad with rent at $2,400. But Chen has some good news for renters.
San Diego rent has been declining for the last 5 months, which is in line with national trends. I think San Diego returned to kind of normal seasonality patterns in 2023 after some huge spikes in late 2021 through 2022.
Zumper also says that more than 4,000 new apartments are going to become available across San Diego County in 2024.
And then also the U.S. Census Bureau showed that almost 31,000 more people moved out of the county last year than moved in. So that resulted in a slight dip in San Diego's population overall, likely because a lot of people were priced out of the area from the last 2 years.
The report determined that El Cajon is the most affordable place to rent in San Diego, with a one-bedroom going for $1,780 a month, followed by La Mesa with rent at $1,980, and Chula Vista, Escondido, and Imperial Beach were tied for third most affordable with rents at $2,000. The report also found that rentals in National City have increased the most since last year. Melissa May, KPBS News.
A City of San Diego-owned property in Del Mar is caught up in a controversy and a lawsuit for events happening on its fields. Jacob Ayer reports on neighbors who say Surf Sports Park is being misused and how the issue may end up being settled in court.
The well-manicured soccer pitches and facilities of Surf Sports Park are surrounded by nature preserves and high-end homes. But there's trouble in paradise.
Over the course of a year, we'll have 400,000 or 500,000 people coming to this place with traffic congestion, noise problems, pollution.
Larry Pollock lives near the park. He says the fields don't feel like an open public space anymore, especially since 2016, when Surf Sports took over the site from the San Diego Polo Club.
What they've done here is they've decided to make this almost like a West Coast headquarters.
We've put about $5 million into the property to transition it from being a horse property into the premier youth sports facility in the country.
Brian Engie is COO of Surf Sports, which currently operates the site under a 28-year lease with the city of San Diego. The Surf Sports website says they host 35 events in San Diego each year, hosting people from all over the country. It's the number of events that upset its neighbors, and the Fairbanks Polo Club Homeowners Association is suing the city of San Diego because of it. While Pollock isn't a part of that lawsuit, he agrees with what it stands for.
I think the city of San Diego is as accountable, maybe even more, because they understand and have acknowledged what's in the lease. And they are allowing Surf Cup to violate that lease.
The suit says the violation is in hosting events too often, up to 200 days a year. It says the lease only allows 25 days of events per year. KPBS asked Engie about that number. He didn't have exact figures, but said they let other groups use the park too, and talked about the overall impact.
We create hotel rooms, jobs, economic impact by bringing people into the city here. And we help kids chase their dreams. I have a hard time figuring out what's wrong with that.
Pollock says he's concerned the park has turned into a major sports and event complex, which falls outside of what the grant deed allows, which is non-commercial recreational uses that don't involve large gatherings of people or cars.
It should be essentially used as a park.
Maggie Brown is president of the Friends of the San Diego River Valley, which unsuccessfully sued the city in 2016 over use of the fields. Brown says there's sensitive wetland habitat all around the area.
The wildlife corridors have all been cut off by the fencing that's there. The birds stay away from it. It really is very damaging to the environment.
In the past couple of years, Surf Sports was previously cited for illegally redirecting stormwater and issued a civil penalty notice for unpermitted grading and filling. Engie says the environmental concerns have been fixed, but Brown is concerned about further expansion efforts, including an adjacent property that is slated to become a youth sports complex.
The things that they have done there represent intensified commercial use, which is specifically not allowed by the grant deed on the land that they're on.
Engie says the size and intensity of the events have not increased over time, and that they strive to comply with all aspects of their lease.
We've had the same number of fields for many, many years. It's the same size of property. You can't fit more teams onto an event in the same time of daylight in the same type of fields.
Since 2022, some of those fields are also being used by the San Diego Wave FC, and the lawsuit says that's added to the problems of public access and commercial use on site. Engie says the concerns are coming from a small but vocal minority who want peace and quiet in their neighborhood.
We don't start our events too early. We don't make them too late. We let them know when they're having events. We want to be respectful, good neighbors.
The park is in Joe LaCava's city council district. We reached out to him, the mayor's office, and the city attorney's office, but they all said they could not comment on pending litigation. The city attorney's office said a trial date has been scheduled for March 14th, 2025. Jacob Ayer, KPBS News.
And here are some of the most popular stories this week at kpbs.org. There's a lot of interest in the story we had earlier from Melissa May on the rental market in San Diego. Free rides are helping San Diego Community College students, and the San Diego Symphony uses sound and silence to teach elementary school students about music, and we'll have that story a little bit later. Time is running out for a state program that provides diapers for low-income families. North County reporter Alexander Nguyen says funding is at risk because of the state's budget shortfall.
At North County Food Bank in Vista, Leonor Alfaro gets more than just food for her growing family. She also gets diapers through the Diaper Bank for her twin girls, Talita and Tanya.
Mi pareja es el que trabaja.
Her husband is the only one in the family working right now. And without the Diaper Bank, she says it would be more of a financial hardship to raise her family.
Porque como son dos, y sí batallo como para los pañales ahorita como a veces se me acaban y a veces tengo que comprar. Y a los días que me toca venir aquí, pues ya me ayudan con los pañales.
The Food Bank's Vista warehouse serves as a distribution hub, working with more than 100 other organizations to deliver diapers to low-income families. Vanessa Osegueda was one of the parents who benefited from the program. She received diapers through Miracle Babies, one of the Diaper Bank's partners. Osegueda says with premature triplets and a toddler under 2, not having to worry about diapers was a huge stress reliever.
I wasn't working at the time because COVID had just hit, and also I had the triplets, so I needed to take more time off than normal. So, I mean, it was a huge blessing to our family.
But funding for the $30 million state program is set to expire in June. San Diego Food Bank receives $3.7 million of that money for the Diaper Bank. Because of the size of the projected budget shortfall, the governor's office says the program is not set for renewal.
Without the diaper program, for some family, it becomes a choice between diapers or food, and that could lead to some health complications for the children.
Casey Castillo is the CEO of the San Diego Food Bank. He says nearly half of San Diego's families struggle to buy diapers.
Families, when they're struggling with basic needs, putting food on the table or purchasing diapers for their children or infants, will ration those diapers, keep them on longer than they should be on, which causes rashes and other health issues.
The food bank is working with local state representatives to get funding and renew the program. Alexander Nguyen, KPBS News.
This week, KPBS launched a new online series that's all about parenting and the support systems families rely on. It's called Where's My Village? And KPBS reporter Tanya Thorne shares her own story and those of others around San Diego. It includes a deep look at the crisis in the childhood industry, from the struggle to retain workers to the rising costs for parents. And the entire series can be streamed on the KPBS YouTube page and at kpbs.org. And March is National Women's History Month, and while women have made strides in medical fields, they still make up only about 1/3 of all emergency medical technicians nationwide. A new program by the region's largest ambulance company is looking to change that. And once again, here's Alexander Nguyen.
Judith Ramirez is showing her daughter that there is more to an ambulance than just the lights and sirens.
Light, heat, a lot of our older population, they get cold easily.
Ramirez wants to inspire her to pursue her dreams, just as she did.
I believe it's very important to keep sharing these experiences with her.
Ramirez's story is also inspiring. A year ago, before becoming an EMT, she was working 3 jobs to support her daughter as a single mother.
I was in such a different place, and now to be here and to have the opportunity to share something like this with my daughter, I think it's absolutely amazing.
What changed Ramirez's life trajectory was the Earn While You Learn Training Academy by AMR, one of the region's largest ambulance transport company.
I was in class in Southwestern, and AMR came in, supervisors came in, and they presented us with this program.
The 16-week program is a partnership between AMR and Miramar College. The company covers the costs of books and tuition and pays cadets while they attend classes or job shadowing. But for the next training academy this fall, AMR will launch an all-female class. Right now, if you call for an ambulance, the EMT who shows up at your door will most likely be a man. Nationally, only 30 to 40% of EMTs are women.
Women obviously can empathize and understand more women emergencies, more female emergencies.
Hannah Peterson is a supervisor at AMR. She says women can pick up on some things that men sometimes miss.
Being able to quickly understand, quickly pick up on certain things as a female definitely matter in a very short amount of time.
Ramirez says without the Earn While You Learn program, she would not have achieved her dream of being an EMT.
It really opened up opportunity for me, and it changed my life in a way that I don't know if it's even expressible in words.
Upon graduation and passing the national EMT test, cadets are guaranteed a job with AMR. Women who are interested in the program can apply online at amrsandiego.net/EWYL-info. Alex Zenowin, KPBS News.
There is a special San Diego Symphony concert coming to the Rady Shell next month, and it will include 2 performances by professional musicians with some help from hundreds of elementary school students. KPBS education reporter MG Perez has more on the interactive music program, providing lessons in sound and silence.
This is music to the ears of students at Sandberg Elementary in Mira Mesa. For the past several weeks, 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders have been learning music vocabulary and getting an education in how orchestras and instruments work together. The bassoon complements the flute. This collaboration is created by musicians from the San Diego Symphony's Woodwind Quintet. Max Offercook is the clarinetist who admits he stumbled into playing this particular instrument.
I thought it looked cool, and I was able to get a sound out of it right away, which is not the case for most of the other instruments.
215 students from Sandberg Elementary enjoyed the quintet's concert at their school. It's a bonus to the curriculum they've been learning with sound and silence. The symphony's Stephen Saltz.
Sound and silence are these 2 characters who meet in their universe just by chance, and they clash a little bit at first. Sound is really energetic. He can sing high pitches, he can play low pitches, he can play music with a really fast tempo or a really slow tempo, and Silence's character is kind of shocked by all this new knowledge.
Together, the cartoonish sound and silence join professional musicians to teach students about music concepts like pitch, melody, and tempo.
I learned that the tempo can be like fast, like really fast.
9-year-old Dexter Dang is a 4th grade student who's already played some piano, but it's the cello he's working with now. The sound and silence lessons have inspired him to keep on learning.
Try out other instruments and then maybe go back to the cello or stay with whatever I like.
And maybe be a musician? What do you want to be when you grow up, Dexter?
I don't know yet, actually.
His classmate, Aziza Denaveris, is more certain about her future in music. She's tried the flute, but her creative heart is elsewhere.
My big passion is guitar, and I really love it, so I want to be a guitarist or an artist when I grow up.
There is 9 weeks of curriculum, culminating with a special concert at the Rady Shell on April 19th, where students will join the San Diego Symphony using their new knowledge and their bodies as percussion instruments. Stephen Salt says it's the ultimate in interactive learning.
That's this whole pattern that they've learned of claps, snaps, and a drum roll on the lap. And it occurs in a very rhythmic piece that the symphony will be opening the concert with.
Sound and silence working with professionals to make sure students can hear the music and the message. Riza Eusebio is one of the Sandberg teachers.
Well, it's important for them to know in the creative arts that it's a profession, and it's definitely something to consider.
Max Offercook will continue to share his talent and experience.
It's these little opportunities like this that might not seem like they mean much, but they do plant a seed in the kids' heads. And Stephen Saltz with the grand finish.
If they already play an instrument at their school, or if their school even has a music program at all, or if this is just something that's brand new to them, for instance, they've maybe never heard even a recording of a symphony orchestra before.
They have now. MG Perez, KPBS News.
And we hope that you enjoyed this look at KPBS News this week. I'm Maya Trabulsi. Thanks for joining us.